Hey youth leaders, this is the video explanation for the sermon happening on Tuesday, September the 13th. The sermon text is through Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 1 to 11, but it's also going to touch on the whole book in a small way. The sermon title is called Be Honest, and the sermon series is How to Make Every Day Worth It. Remember, we do these video explanations so that you can be prepared to lead your small group. And in small group, we want to lead honest conversations which lead to Bible comprehension, motivating personal application. That's what we want. Honest conversations for Bible comprehension, for personal application. That's what we want. So, what am I going to be teaching on the 13th in this sermon called Be Honest? Well, the big idea is we want to ask the question, why does life feel so worthless? And here's my sermon outline. 3 reasons that the writer of Ecclesiastes shows that life is so worthless. Number 1, life is just a speck. The writer of Ecclesiastes says, we're this little small thing in such a big time, in such a big world, and when we realize how small we are, does anything we really do count at all? Second thing that he says is that life is unfair. I want to get out what I put in, but sometimes it doesn't happen like that. Sometimes it feels like it's random. Sometimes you can work really hard and get nothing in return, or sometimes you can put little in and get everything back. And thirdly, life is going to end. And that's the saddest, sometimes most depressing part of it all. Life is just a speck, life is unfair, and life is going to end. And for these 3 reasons, life can feel worthless. But how can we make every day worth it? Well, those are the 3 reasons. We're going to invite the kids to be honest about which one of those they've experienced, and then to ask one honest question. In the midst of life being a speck and unfair and ending, will you trust that God is still good? That's our motivation. And we're going to see God's goodness most clearly through the gospel. That He gave His only Son to suffer in our place so that we can be forgiven. And we know that God works all things for good for those who love Him and are called according to His purposes. Remember, the purpose of this is so that you're prepared. Now, when the sermon happens, take good notes so that you can lead honest discussion for Bible comprehension, for personal application. Thanks, guys.